This conference will now be recorded.
So why do we need arrays? Why do we need arrays? What is an array? What is an array? What is the need of the array? What is the need of the array? Observe now. Int a equals to 10. Int b equals to 20. Int c equals to 30. Int d equals to 40. Observe. So I have four variables. Int a, b, c, d, e. Int a, b, c, d. Okay, four variables. This is the way we usually declare the local variables. So declare and initialize the value, right? So this one is efficient for four variables, for four values. If I want to print the value of d, it will be 40. I'll be calling d 40. Okay, that is efficient for four variables. What if I want 400 variables? What if I want? What happens if I declare the 400 variables? Program length, program will be increasing. Program length will be increasing. Okay, that is not the correct way of programming, efficient way of programming. Okay, that is not the efficient way of programming. That will be increasing the complexity of the program. That will be increasing the complexity of the program. Now, what happens in case of arrays? By using single variable, I can represent a huge number of values. By using a single variable, by using a single variable, we can represent a huge number of values. Using a single variable, we can represent a huge number of values. So the general definition of arrays will be: an array is a indexed collection of an array is a indexed collection of fixed number of an array is a indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous data elements. An array is a fixed number of an array is indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous data elements. Homogeneous data elements. Now, by using a single variable, I can represent huge number of values, but that should be homogeneous. We have seen. For int variable, if I declare that variable as int, I must supply only int values. If I declare a variable as string, I must supply only string values. That is called homogeneous. Now array index will be starting from 0. Array index will be starting from 0, not 1. Index will be starting from 0. And what is the limitation of array is once I create the array with the specified size, I cannot increase or decrease in future. When I'm declaring the array, when I'm creating the array, when I'm creating the array, we have to give the size. Okay, now, but for our requirement, we cannot increase or decrease the size of the array. Once it is when I'm creating the array, if I specify the size, that is fixed. I cannot increase or decrease the size of the array. Now, what is the scenario? What is the scenario if in a movie theater, they are expecting 500 people for one show. For one show, they are the owners of the theater expecting 500 members. But when the movie starts, there were only 100 people. 100 people. Now 400 seats are wasted. They have arranged 500 seats. Only 100 people came. Remaining 400 seats wasted. Next time, what happens? The theater owners are expecting 500 people. The theater owners are expecting 500 people and arranged 500 chairs. 500 chairs. 1,000 people came now. 1,000 people came. Right? They cannot increase at that time. So that is the problem with array. Once it is size is declared, we cannot increase or decrease. What is an array?
Using a single variable can be represented to
Huge number of values. An array is a indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous data elements. Develop this program.
in array there are 2 to 3 types.
In arrays, yeah, dimension, that is you'll come to know later. Array dimension. What I'm doing here, for the same variable only I'm changing the values, right? We don't get the different values. For the same variable only I'm changing the values. Observe, we have only one variable in type. For that variable only I'm changing the value. We don't get any different values. At last, if I try to print I, will be getting 20 only. We don't get any 0 or 10. Why? Because for the same variable only I'm doing the modification, right? We'll be getting 0, 10, 20. Develop this one. We already know what is public. We already know what is public. In case of C programming, they followed one procedure that is called matrix. In C programming, they are followed one procedure that is called matrix. Okay, but in Java, they are following different procedure. They are following different procedures of array, procedure of working with arrays. Now, in case of C, what will be the problem? Matrices. So in Java, they are following different procedure for working with arrays. That is arrays of arrays. Write down that the procedure followed in the procedure they followed in case of arrays in Java is arrays of arrays, arrays of arrays, arrays of arrays. By using a single variable, we can represent a huge number of values. That is the main advantage of arrays. What is the main disadvantage of array?
Once the value
We
is
cannot increase or decrease as per our requirement. Once it is defined, once it is declared, the size is specified, that is fixed. I cannot change according to our requirements.
what happens if we set the array of 4 numbers and we try to give it a scale grid and one will be less. So we'll be able to execute it.
I can get anything. What is that?
In the array ನಾವು 4 ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ
ಹಾ,
400
okay.
ಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದು ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು 350 ಗೆ
ಹಾ.
ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 350
400 ಗೆ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ.
350 ಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಸೊ 50 ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ 350
ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಬರುತ್ತೆ
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ so if I observe, if I try to 400 size 400, so if I try to print 400, sorry, what will be the 399? What is that we are getting? The default value. Once I fix it to the number, okay, that will be initializing with the default value. Array index will be starting from 0. X of 0. Earlier it was 0, now I'm supplying 10. X of 1. Earlier it was initialized with 0, now I'm supplying 20. X of 2. Earlier it was 0, now I'm supplying with 30. Initializing with 30. If I try to print the same, so delete this one, because up to index 2 we are having index 2, length is 3, but the index till 2, index will be from 0, 0, 1, 2. Now this one is the declaration part, this is the initialization part, creation part. This is the declaration part, this is the creation part. This one is the array declaration, this is creation. Okay, array declaration, array creation. We are doing it in a single line. We are doing it in a single line. Array creation and declaration. First declaration, then creation. Develop this. I'm declaring in different line, I'm creating in another line. This is also possible. And in case of earlier, this is called the array size. Okay, this is the dimension. Dimension. It is single dimension. So before variable, I'm giving that dimension. Before variable, I'm giving the dimension. If I give after the variable also, that is fine. Dimension. See, in first case you'll be getting 0, 0, 0. Then we'll be getting 100, 200, 300. This is called the dimension. Okay, dimension, that is single dimension. Single dimension. In the earlier case, I have given like this. After immediately int dimension. Here before immediately variable. Declaration in one line, creation in another line. We can declare in one line, and we can create in another line. Are we getting the output? Are we getting the output? Observe the difference. Earlier it was int It was like this. Int array x. Now int array x, int array x, earlier int array, now int space
Array.
array x, both are same,
Okay.
same, both are same. Earlier I created only in single line, created and declared and created in a single line, declaration and creation in a single line, declaration and creation in a single line. In case of here, declaration is in one line, creation is in another line. The size of the array is 3, the dimension of this array is 1. One dimension size is 3, one dimension size is 3. So whenever we are creating an array, all the locations will be initializing with the default value 0. When we are creating an array, all the locations will be initializing with the default value 0. That is why we'll be getting x of 0 0, x of 1 0, x of 2 0. Then I'm reinitializing x of 0 location with 100, x of 1 location with 200, x of 2 location with 300. Now we'll be getting 100, 200, 300. We'll see more possible cases. Develop this one. Develop this one. All these syntactically correct. All these are syntactically correct. There is no issue in that. These are all the possible ways when I'm declaring an array. When I'm declaring an array, these are all the possible cases. If I give like this also, that is fine. All these syntax is proper. There is no issue in that. Develop the next program. How to find out the length of the array? See, this declaration is recommended. This type of declaration is recommended. What is the length of this array? What will be getting in the for loop?
4 times 0.
Observe the length of the array is 4. I is equal to 0. I less than x dot length. What is the length of the array? 4. 0th time printing the value 0. I is becoming 1. First iteration x of I. What is the value of x of I now? 0 only. x of I in the sense what? Array index. Earlier x of 0, that was initialized with 0, that is why we were getting 0. Now when I is 1, x of 1 also initialized with 0, that is why we were getting 1. Now 2, in this case also will be getting 0. Now 3, in this case will be getting 0. Now I is becoming 4, 4 not less than 4 coming out. So 0 to times 0, for the x of 1 is 0, for the x of 2 is 0, for the x of 3 is 0. The total length of the array is 4. X dot length. How to find out the length?
1 minute. In that case, again it will be reinitialized.
Again it will be reinitializing that. See here, it is not reinitializing. In this case, array declaration and creation and initialization. In the sense, when I'm creating an array, it is initializing with the default value. Default value that is 0, 0. Okay. Now I did not initialize, I did not reinitialize, I did not reinitialize with any other value. At this case, at this point, x dot length is 4. Now here I is the local variable of for loop. I is the local variable of for loop. X dot length. What is the length? 4. I plus plus. So x of 0, it is 0. I'm trying to print the content of x of 0, that is 0. The content of x of 0, location, index 0, that is 0. X of 1, 0. X of 2, 0. X of 3, 0. And it won't go to the next iteration, that is 4. 4 less than 4, no. 4 is not less than 4. So from 0 to 3, that is 4. From 0 to 3.
Or if you want to start from I equals to 1, x
Yeah.
dot length plus 1.
If I want to start it from, okay,
Less than
1
equal to
less than equal to.
I is less than equal to x dot length.
Here 0 only.
I mean, if we start from
1,
I equal to
yeah.
less
Here
than
1
that will be 1000.
will be getting same output. Zero, zero, zero. What is happening here for the first time? Okay, x of 0, then I plus plus. See here, it is what it is pointing. I, what is the value of I? It is 1. Okay. The value, whatever I'm giving here, that is the value. Okay. 0th time, then I is incremented to 1. Then I becomes this value 1, 2, 3. If I give 4, there is no fourth index. If I give 4, there is no fourth index. If I give like this also, will be getting exception. Okay, there is no fourth index. Length is 4. Index is till 3. Till 3.
Arrays always when we create from zero only.
Arrays.
If we create a array, any array, always start from zero.
Index will be from 0 only. Any array. Doesn't matter.
Bracket or double bracket. Unconverted.
All of this.
Yes.
Observe, when I'm creating the array, I'm specifying the size. That is 10. 10. Int I is equal to 10. The same I am supplying when I'm creating the array. The size is 10. Separation. I is reinitializing with 0. Then 0. We can have the array with the size 0. We can have the array with size 0. Array length can be 0. Array length can be 0. Separation. Then I'm setting the size of the array -2. I'm setting the size of the array -2. We'll be getting negative array index exception. Negative array index exception. Why? Because we cannot we cannot declare, we cannot create any array with a negative size. Negative size we cannot create. Otherwise, we'll be getting negative array index exception. At the compile time, we don't get any error. Why? Because compiler only checking whether the supplied type is, whether is it int or not. Okay, int or not. But it is not checking whether if it is positive integer or negative integer. At the runtime, we'll be getting the exception.
Get the I is equal to 10, if we give minus 2,
We'll be getting the exception there itself. We'll be getting the exception there itself. We don't get that dots 2 times. We cannot specify the size with negative values. We cannot specify the array size with negative values. Otherwise, we'll be getting negative array index exception.
Exception.
Develop this. what we are getting. So what is happening here? I'm declaring two array variables. I'm declaring two array variables with the size x with the size 2. For y, I'm supplying x. For y, I'm supplying x. For y, I'm supplying x. Now, for whatever the object that is pointed by the x, for the same object, y also will be pointing. Whatever the object that is pointed by x, for the same object, y also will be pointing. Why? Because I'm supplying x. Now x of 0 and y of 0 will be pointing to same. X of 1, y of 1 will be pointing to same. If I try to modify any of the values in any of the index, that will be reflecting on both the variables. Okay. In Java, arrays are also objects. In Java, arrays are also objects. Case of Java, arrays are also objects. Arrays are also objects in Java. Develop this program. So what we are doing in this program?
Set of values are passed to array X.
Yeah.
Printing the value one by one.
Earlier we used to do declaration in one line, creation in one line, initialization in one line. But in the same line, array, declaration, creation, initialization, all are happening in a single line. Fifth line, array, declaration, creation, initialization within a single line. Array creation, declaration, creation, initialization in a single line. Is it fine?
What is the source? How is it considered?
This is for each loop. We have seen, right? For each loop. Observe the syntax. When I'm creating an array, I must declare the size. Okay, I must declare the size. Here what I'm doing, within the same line I'm giving this syntax. In the sense we are setting the size, right? In the last program also, indirectly we are telling the size of the array is 4. The size of the array is 4. Here, instead of only giving this, I'm giving the syntax new int array, then supplying the values like this within the curly braces. But that should be the single line. If I give it in another line, what happens? If I give it in another line, what happens? We'll be getting compile time error. Give the semicolon here. Give the semicolon. Make this comment. When I'm creating an array, I must specify the size. When I'm creating the array, I must specify the size. That is mandatory.
Comment also.
I must do it in a single line. I must do it in a single line. We cannot extend to the next line. What is that? So in x I'm declaring, then what I'll do is x is equal to, like this I'm giving. We'll be getting compile time error. So in this case I cannot declare in one line and initialize in another line. That should be the single line. That should be single line. In case of this syntax, that should be the single line.
And also
Develop this. Sometimes we develop an array without a reference variable, that is called anonymous arrays. For instant use purpose, sometimes we can create an array without a reference variable, that is called anonymous array. An array without name. An array without name. What is the purpose? For instant use purpose. We'll be using instantly. How? I'm calling test method. I'm calling test method. Test method is accepting one int array. Int array. Now I'm sending the value 10, 2. Next, develop this. Two-dimensional array. the dimension of this array? 2 dimensional, right?
It's not printing like an array for something else.
It is not printing.
Like an array. It's a matrix.
Didn't understood. You didn't get?
It's printing like a straight line. We need to create a matrix.
No, 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 no. Why we are expecting the matrix here? In case of no, no. In case of Java, they are following the different procedure. That is arrays of arrays. Okay. In case of C, that is matrix. In case of C, that is matrix. Now, the size of the array is what is the dimension of this array? 2 dimension. So base size is 3. 2 dimension. Base size is 3. Base size is 3. Now, next level dimension to all the array size will be 2. This is x of 0. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. 2 dimensional array. Are you getting? Two-dimensional array. We have 2 dimensions. One level and another level. 2 levels. Now, what is x of 0, 0? This one. X of 0, 0. X of 0, 0. X of 0, 0. This one. I'm setting it to 10. I'm setting it to 10. Give the different value, otherwise different values. Here, different values. This location of array is pointing to one object of the array, that is one dimension array. Totally this is 2 dimensional arrays. It is totally 2 dimension array. Now this location is pointing to one array object, that is one dimension. That is one dimension. Now what is I'm storing here? 10. X of 0, 1. 20 I'm storing. X of 1, 0. What is that I'm storing? 30. X of 1, 1. What is that I'm storing? 40. X of 2, 0. What is that I'm storing? 50. X of 2, 1, 60. Now I is equal to 0, I less than x dot length. What is the length of this? What is the length? Total length. See, in order to find out the length, we need to follow different procedure. Observe here. We are trying to print the length. The length of the array is 3. Is 3. Okay, I'm supplying here 3. 3. I is equal to 0. 0 less than 3. J is equal to 0. X of I in the sense x of 0. X of 0 length. What is the length of the x of 0? What is the length of the x of 0? 2. 2, right? Now, what is x of ij? What is x of ij? What is I value now? What is I value? What is I value? 0. What is j value? X of 0, 0. What is the answer? 10. Next. J is incremented by 1. J is incremented by 1. 1 less than 2. Yes. 1 less than 2. Yes. Now, x value 0. J value 1. 0, 1. What is the 0? 1, 20. Next. J value is becoming 2. J value is becoming 2. Whether 2 less than 2? No. Then I is incremented to 1 from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1. 1 less than 3? 1 less than 3, yes. J is equal to 0. X of I. What is the x of I value? 1. What is the j value? X of 1, 0. What is the value? J is becoming? J is becoming? 1. Here, x of I dot length. What is the value? 2 only, right? 2 only. X of 1 dot length, in the sense, x of 1 length. X of 1 location is pointing to an array object that is 1 dimension with the size 2. Size 2. Okay. Now, I is incremented to, sorry, j is incremented to 1. Now, what is the I? 1. 1. X of 1, 1. Now j is becoming 2, 2 less than 2, coming out. I is becoming 2. I is becoming 0 less than 2, 0 less than 2. Sorry. What is the exact length? 3. What is the exact length here? 3. 2 less than 3. 2 less than 3. Yes, 2 less than 3. J is equal to 0. Once again, what is the x of I? What is the x of I? 2, 0. 2, 0, 50. J is becoming 1. Now, what is the I? 2. J? 2, 1. 60. J is becoming? J is becoming 2. 2 less than 2? False. Coming out. Then here I is incremented to 3. 3. I is incremented to 3. 3 less than 3? Whether 3 less than 3? False. So we can develop any dimension of arrays. Okay. This is arrays of arrays. Arrays of arrays. But in case of C, what happens? In case of C, what happens? In case of C, what is the problem? Students. These are the students. These are the subjects they have to write. Students. It is in the what it is.
So I access rows from
Rows. Student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4. Column. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. Okay. Now, student 1 is writing computer science examination. Okay. In the computer science examination, there will be only 3 subjects. Assume there will be only 3 subjects in computer science. First subject marks is 50, second subject marks is 60, third subject marks is 45. Student 2 is writing electronics and communication exam. Now he will be having 4 subjects. Assume he will be having 4 subjects. 46, 38, 57, 59. Student 2. Student 3, civil engineering student, is writing civil engineering examination. We will be having only 2 subjects. Assume 56, then 38. Student 5 is telecommunication student, is having, let's say, only 1 subject. He is having only 1 subject in the telecommunication exam. So, what is the problem here? Subject is in order itself. Student also is in the order. What is the problem here? Wastage. Wastage, right? Memory location wastage. In the first student, in the first student case, one memory is wasted. Second case, there is no waste. In the third case, two memory locations waste. Third case, in the fourth case, three memory locations wasted. It is the procedure followed by C matrix. Okay, but we don't follow this. We follow this one in case of Java. Arrays of arrays. Arrays of arrays. ಯಾವುದು? ಹಾ. See, just to keep in mind, keep that in mind. Matrix. Okay, they will be using a concept called matrix.
Arrays of arrays.
Arrays of arrays. Yeah. Arrays of arrays. Arrays of arrays. ಯಾವುದು? Mix of what is the length here? Length ಇವಾಗ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೈಜ್ 3 this size. ಇಂಟ್ 0 ಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 0 ಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. What is the I value now? 0. X dot length 0 less than 3. Yes. One inside. This is the zeroth iteration. Zeroth iteration. J is equal to 0. J is equal to 0. J less than x of I. What is the x of I value?
3, sir.
2. X of 0, I value, right? It is like x of 0. I 0. I x of 0. Dot length. 0 is pointing to one memory, one array object. Okay. This 0 is pointing to one array object. The length is 2. Okay. Length is 2. That is why it will be applying the 2 here. Length is 2. 0 is pointing to one array object. That length is 2. Length is 2. Now, what is x of I and j? X of I is 0 only. J is 0 only. 0, 0. X of 0. Then 0, next level. 0. X of 0, next to 0 is 10. Okay. Next, J is incremented by 1. That is J value now 1. 1. Whether 1 less than 2? 1 less than 2? Yes. 1 less than 2. So here, J becomes 1. 1 ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ J. I value ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆ 0th iteration ಅದಕ್ಕೆ we are getting 0. 0. J value increment ಆಯ್ತು 1 ಆಯ್ತು. ಈಗ 0 1 0 1 20. J value is becoming 2. 2 less than 2. J value becomes 2. Whether 2 less than 2? No. It will come out of that inner for loop. Now it will be continuing the outer for loop. Now I will be, what is I value now? What is I value?
1, 1.
1, right? Here increment 1, I will become 1. Now 1 less than 3, 1 less than 3. Again j is equal to 0. Again j is equal to 0. X of I in the sense x of 1. X of 1, it is pointing to an array object that is the length 2. X of 1 is pointing to an array object. The length of that array is 2. Now that is why applying here is 2. So now here x of I is what?
1.
J 0th iteration. J is 0th iteration. ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ರೈಟ್. 1 0 ಇವಾಗ 1 0 30 j value incremented by 1, whether 1 less than 2, yes, 1 1
Okay.
I value becoming, sorry, j value becoming 2, whether 2 less than 2, 2 less than 2, no. Now coming to the outer for loop, what is the I value now? 2, 2, whether 2 less than 3, yes, 2 less than 3. Once again j is initializing with 0. Once again j is initializing with 0. X of I in the sense 2. X of 2. X of 2 is pointing to an array object. The size of that array is 2. That is why the applying value there is 2. Next. X of I is what? 2. J 2 0 50. J is becoming 1. J is becoming 1. Now, whether 1 less than 2, 1 less than 2. X of 2 1 60 60. J is becoming 2. J is becoming 2. Whether 2 less than 2, once. I is becoming 3. I is becoming 3. Whether 3 less than 3, once. Coming out of the loop. Got it? This is it for arrays. Okay, we'll start inner class tomorrow. Inner class. Inner class. Inner class. Okay, practice this much. We'll continue tomorrow.